this is my second video, which I'm sure a lot of you have been anticipating because I've also been anticipating this. I decided to make a video every 2 weeks because I didn't want to overwhelm you guys with a lot, and also I didn't want to run out of ideas so soon. So yeah, this week's topic is gonna be about the MCAT, and as you can see, my shirt is about the MCAT. Actually, the inspiration came from when I was changing my clothes this morning, and I realized that I could just talk about this since like I just recently-ish took it, and so I have a lot to say about it. So yeah, I'm not going to talk too much about it in this video. Well, I will be talking about it in this video, but I'm going to dedicate a few videos to the MCAT just because I have a few different things to say about it, but I didn't want to make like a 30-minute video. So anyways, I have a few tips. I took the exam in August 2016, so I took the most recent one, the MCAT 2015, and yeah, so my first tip would be to make a schedule for yourself. It's important to make it before you start studying, be it if it's before a year before you start studying and you plan to study for a year, or if it's 4 months before you start studying and you plan to study for the 4 months. But it's important to make a schedule so that you know which days are dedicated to studying, which days you'll be studying a certain topic, which days you'll be taking a practice exam, which days are your break days. So it's important to know the breakdown of your study plan, just because it'll help you stay on track and stay focused. I took the Kaplan course, the in-class course, and so with that they gave us a study schedule that we could follow if we wanted to, but we could also I also tweaked it a little and made my own schedule out of it according to what I thought would be best. And so I did that before I started studying, and that's what helped me stay on track, because I knew which days to prepare for a practice exam, and I knew which days I would be studying like the Krebs cycle, for example, or which days I would be practicing a few cars passages. So it kind of gives you a good idea when you wake up what you'll be anticipating that day. And actually, my study plan is more related to if you're going to take the exam towards the end of the summer, because that's how I took the exam. So I'm sorry for other people, but I think most of the general tips will apply. But yeah, so that's tip 1. Just make sure you have a good, clean study schedule. It can be a weekly thing or a daily thing, as it doesn't have to be too specific, but basically something that gives you an idea so that you know where you stand at the end of each week. My second tip would be to make sure you have a goal for yourself. You don't want to start practicing for the exam and studying for the exam, but not really know what you're aiming for. I mean, it is a pretty decently wide range, and you could aim for a perfect score. That's definitely a good thing, but you should know what you're aiming for. If you wanted to aim for the 95th percentile, then just let yourself, get that stuck in your mind that that's your goal and that's what you're going to work for. If you're working for the 88th percentile, just work yourself to get there. It's good to have that goal, because I learned after talking to a few friends and setting my own goal that it helped me whenever I was doing the practice exams. I didn't actually have a goal right when I started studying, and so when I took the first 2 or 3 practice exams, I didn't really know what I was aiming for, and it wasn't good because I just was like, I want to get a good score, but I didn't know what was good enough for me. So after the 4th practice exam, I realized I should definitely designate a certain goal for myself, and that's what I did, and it helps you because that's what pushes you to get there. I also believe that when you're doing practice exams, you may not get or reach your goal by the 3rd or 4th or 5th practice exam, and that's why, related to this, you should try to take at least 8 to 10 practice tests before you take the actual exam. Taking so many practice tests may seem really overwhelming, but it's good in the sense that it helps you prepare for test day. It helps you get used to a 7-hour exam. It helps you get used to the questions that are asked, how they're asked, stuff like that. So that's why, in my opinion, you should try to take 8 to 10 exams, especially because within those 8 to 10 exams, you'll definitely get closer to your goal. In my opinion, you might not get close to your goal if you decide to only take 6 practice tests, but by the 10th practice test, you'll definitely be closer, and it'll give you a better idea of what test day is going to look like, which is important because you don't want to go into test day not knowing what to expect in terms of how you're doing. So that's something important that you should make sure you designate it, that you introduce into your schedule, to have at least 8 to 10 practice tests scheduled. And then my last tip would be to make sure you don't push yourself too far. So I'm talking from experience because I took this towards the end of the summer, which means I had all summer, which means I had literally 24 hours in a day to study. Not that I dedicated 24 hours, because that would make me crazy, but my friends, my family members, they can all vouch for the fact that I definitely did have these internal crazy moments where I was just fed up with studying for the exam. I let it take over my life, quote unquote, for the first few weeks, only because I was so intimidated by it. We all know how important it is. It's definitely needed to get into med school, and you definitely want a good score to get into a good med school, but what I'm trying to say is don't push yourself to the point where you're just drained and you can't function anymore. It may sound really dramatic. I guess I'm saying that because some people may think that studying for the exam is easy, but some people may think it's really hard and that it's just really overwhelming. And so for those people that do think it is, don't worry. You just need to stay calm and not let it take over your life. You should find something that you enjoy doing during your breaks, something that'll take your mind off of the exam, just because that's what'll help you not burn yourself out when you're studying. I found that running was actually nice. Not that I'm an avid runner, but I would take a 30 to 45 minute break each day and go for a run/walk. And while I was doing that, I never thought about the exam, mostly because I was thinking about how I was out of breath, or it was too hot, or my legs were hurting, or I needed water. And so what I mean is just find something that you can dedicate yourself to and get yourself to be distracted from studying. It just gives your brain a good rest. It gives your mind a good breather from the biology, the reading, all of the questions that you've been doing all day. And I think that's very important when it comes down to studying for the MCAT. And so yeah, obviously you should push yourself when studying for the exam because you want to reach your goal, but don't push yourself too far to the point where you're just overly stressed and too anxious about it. So I hope this video helps you guys. People that have taken the MCAT, this video might help you for classes, so I hope it helps nonetheless. And for people that are going to take the MCAT, I did not make this video to overwhelm you or to scare you or anything. It's definitely something that you can do, and it takes a lot of work, but you can do well on it. It's not like an undefeatable war, I guess. And I wasn't trying to over dramatize it either. All I wanted to say is that, the days where it feels like you aren't doing so well, don't let them get to you. And yeah, I hope that this video helps you guys, and always stay motivated, and always remember that the end goal is, I guess, what the end goal is, which I guess for a lot of pre-med students is to become a doctor. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and tune in 2 weeks to see some more. And I hope you enjoy this beautiful day, and I think I'm done. This is my shirt, by the way, if you guys couldn't read it. But yeah, okay, bye.